Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm WolfStalker25, and today I got a brand new set of action figure reviews for you guys. These are the Hasbro Marvel Legends Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 or Cosmo Build-A-Figure Wave, Star-Lord, and Drax. I have all the figures for this wave. I plan on reviewing all the figures for this wave just so you guys are clear and aware. I will probably bring them all out in each video and do comparisons in the video or whatnot, but I'll show off the figures specifically in their own sets of videos. I'm going to be doing 2 figures per video instead of doing 8 videos and dragging it out, I'm going to do 2 figures in a video. So today we got Drax and we got Star-Lord. Up next will probably be Nebula and Mantis, then Kraglin and Adam Warlock, and then lastly we'll round out with Rocket and Cosmo. So yeah, first up we'll just take a quick little glance at the box, and that's the only time we're going to look at the box. It's Drax's box here. So the box itself, very nice, pretty cool. It's one of the windowless packaging again. Shows you right here all the figures. So Star-Lord does not come with a Build-A-Figure piece, unfortunately. This whole wave is honestly lacking severely in the accessory department. So to build Cosmo, Drax, you need Drax, Mantis, Nebula, Rocket, Adam Warlock, and Kraglin to get everything for them. Drax comes with the front right leg, Kraglin front left, and then you do get Nebula with the back left, and then Mantis with the back right, and then the body is with Rocket. Kraglin comes with Adam Warlock comes with the tail and the dome, and that's it, I think. And then yeah, Rocket comes with the head and the body. So yeah, there you go. There's the accessories that Drax gets. He gets his knives and the leg. Star-Lord just gets his blasters. So that's it. We'll take a look at all that. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of get the box out of the way so I don't have to show it again at all, and just show you everything that you get in the first video. So up first, we'll take a look at Drax, since he's kind of a little bit more new, I guess, than Star-Lord. So Drax is very nice. You do get the belt. There's a nice little bit of gunmetal there on the belt buckle and right there. Unfortunately, they didn't follow it around to the back. I feel like this could have been gunmetal. They could have done gunmetal here, gunmetal there, just to get a little bit more detail throughout the belt instead of just the front of the figure. The back of the figure needs love too. So one big thing to note that I'm very kind of pissed about is my Drax, his eyes, the eye right here, was this his left eye? Left eye. His left eye looks great, looks fine, printed perfectly fine. The right eye, though, as you can see, it's the same problem I had with my 20th anniversary Captain America last year. For some reason, the left eye is printed into the actual corner of the eye there, so you could kind of see it there, to where there's a little bit of the eyeball that just has nothing printed on it. So the eye is slightly lower, and it makes him look like he's that side-eye McFarlane thing going on. So the one eye's looking forward, the other eye's shooting off to the side. So I'm really kind of annoyed with that with Drax, because I was really looking forward to this figure, because my Drax is only Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 Drax, so I wanted a better Drax, and yeah, very disappointing with that. Other than that, the body looks great. I love the little gold detail here. The red is alright. Didn't finish painting the red down here, which just seems odd. The strap looks unpainted. This should be either black or red. So a lot of missing paint details. The buckles on the boots probably could have been in a paint color down here. They have could have been gunmetal somewhere on the straps or something. But the feet are just solid black. And then the articulation, he's missing butterflies. I feel like Drax could have really benefited and used butterflies, but other than that, articulation wise, Drax could get his arm up that far. Do gotta be careful, because you start rubbing the red off of the arm when you bring the arms up. They did not really do very well making the shoulders movable that easily. You got the upper bicep cut, double jointed pinless elbows on Drax, which is very nice, and then the wrists do swivel and hinge horizontally. The head is on a disc hinge, so he could kind of look back that far, and then he could look down that much So very nice. Do get the ab crunch, you can go back that far, forward that much. I feel like Drax might have benefited from a diaphragm, and then you have the waist cut as well, and then the belt is also movable. Legs could go forward that much, back ever so slightly, upper thigh cut. Drax on the splits, he's basically doing the entirety of the splits there, which is awesome. Let me get the camera focused in a little bit better. And then he does have double jointed knees. Unfortunately, they are pinned. They are not pinless. I'm assuming these are the same knees or pants from a previous Drax, probably. Maybe something new, but very similar. No upper boot cut. Ankles go back that far, forward that much. And he does have the ankle swivel as well. Also, Drax, accessory-wise, does, like I said, get the 2 daggers of his here. So, let me get that focus. There we go. Does get the 2 daggers. Just a very gray, flat molded plastic, no extra paint. I feel like those could have benefited from like a silver or a gunmetal or a different color handle, and then the red. I thought he's got red in the daggers. So yeah, other than that, Drax is all right. He's not bad. Unfortunately, I got a wonky eye, so it kind of ruins the entirety of the figure for me. But he is on a bigger, bulkier body than StarLord. Now, StarLord, new again, but a lot of reuse as well. The arms are pinned, the legs are pinned. That's because this is a previous StarLord's like lower legs and arms as well, I believe. I mean, maybe there's a new shoulder, but other than that, everything else on him, I think the body is new. The head is obviously new. He's got a lot better of a head sculpt than previous StarLords. One big downside here with StarLord, as with Drax, let me get that to focus. The shoulder here has this little like notch nub thing. If you push the arm in, it starts ripping the paint off, and then it turns, as you can see, blue. So you got to be very careful with that arm. There's really no way to get the shoulder to go in without ripping that paint. It's just the arms are sat way too high. And it does it on both sides. I've kind of almost basically ripped off both of the nubs already by barely bringing the arms up. So arms, realistically, if you're talking articulation wise, can only kind of go up that far. Like, if you push it, you could go further, but like I said, you do what I just did and you ruin the figure. So yeah, and he's got one on the front and on the back there for the sculpt. So I don't know what design choice that was. Again, StarLord doesn't have butterflies. I feel like if he had butterflies and just slightly like lower on the joint there, it would have been nicer. But yeah, sculpt great all around. Other than that though, extra paint detail missing in some spots, like right here on the lower leg. That little bit right there should be red. I'm assuming these should be a different color. I'm assuming the straps on the side here should probably be a different color. There's definitely straps on the forearm. Oh, forearm of Drax that weren't painted that should be black. Yeah, there's got to be other things on the pants somewhere that probably aren't painted. Belt buckles on the boots probably could have been gunmetal. I'm sure there's missing paint all around on him, but other than that, the sculpt is pretty great. And then you do get the newer style of the little blasters of his. Let me get that focused here. You do get these newer blasters, and they look pretty nice. I mean, sculpt details okay. The paint's not bad. You get a nice silver and then like a brownish gray color, which isn't bad. And then you do get articulation wise, like I said, arms basically only go out kind of that far unless you push it and you start making it a problem, and then you'll probably need to do some paint touch-ups. Upper bicep cut right there. Then you get the double jointed elbows, which we've seen before on StarLord. The wrist do swivel and hinge. They are both horizontal hinges, unfortunately. I feel like they might need to be vertical for StarLord. He does get the ab crunch back that far, ab crunch forward that much, waist cut as well. Head is on a disc and ball as well, so he could kind of look up that far and down that much, so not bad. Okay all around. And then you get the upper thigh cut. Legs on the splits are only doing that much. I don't know why. Legs go forward that much, back ever so slightly, not very much. Double jointed pinned knees as well. Does get the boot cut right there as well. Ankles go back that far, forward that much. And he does have the wonderful ankle pivot as always. So yeah, there you go with Star-Lord. That's basically it with him. A little bit disappointing that you have the problem up there on the shoulder and that Drax has the eye problem. Height wise on these two, Star-Lord does stand just about 6.5 inches tall, a little over 6.25. Drax is about he's a little over 6.5, so a little bit of a height difference. Drax is ever so slightly taller, and obviously he's a lot wider and bulkier, so he's probably like half an inch taller than Star-Lord, quarter of an inch taller than Star-Lord, which is nice to have that, you know, height difference and dynamic. Size comparison time with some other figures. We do have the Mythic Legion Black Knight, Jazzware Halo Spartan Collection Master Chief. We'll bring out the 1000 Toys Halo Master Chief as well right there. Get rid of these two. Got the Jazzware, or not Jazzware, McFarlane Warhammer Space Marine. This is the Blood Angel one specifically. Anime Heroes War Greymon from Bandai as well. Let's get Master Chief out of here. Kind of got both of them just held off to the side. Up next we have SH Figuarts Goku, Mezco Stealth Iron Man, Figma Samus, and the Jazzware Fortnite the Visitor figure as well. So yeah, some of these, like I've said in previous reviews, will probably be retired soon from the review station and being in reviews. I might retire the Visitor and the Anime Hero War Greymon. I don't really know if I need to keep size comparing both of them from now on. Maybe the Fortnite Hasbro figure will do, even though that line seems like it's being discontinued. Here we got Star Wars Black Series Captain Rex, Fortnite Victory Royale, the Foundation. Then we got G.I. Joe Classified Snake Eyes, and lastly Power Rangers Lightning Collection Mighty Morphin Red Ranger, with all your size comparisons there. And then lastly, we do have a comic book Symbiote Black Suit Spider-Man and the MCU America Chavez. So there's a look with another MCU character and also a younger, more teenage body mold. So there you go. Alright, now let's take a look at them next to some other Guardians. First up, we'll take a look at their older counterparts that I have, which will be retired from the shelf and go to the bin for now, until one day where I could have a display to keep all of them. So previously, I had Volume 1 Drax and Volume 2, I think, StarLord. I don't remember which exact Star-Lord this one is, but I know I have the Volume 1, I think, one with the trench coat, whichever one came with the original group Build-A-Figure, and then I have the one from Thor's Wave. That one's kind of lame, but yeah, so these two are cool, very nice. I will be doing a head swap later with the mask here from this Star-Lord, so I'll put him just kind of back here for now. So yeah, great improvement on the Drax characters. I just wish this one had the Volume 2 yelling head that the 2-pack or the single individual release had. Up next, StarLord Wise, we'll just take a look at him next to the comic book version really quick. And the comic book one could go up on his place on the shelf. So there you go. There's a look at that. Looks good. And then I will actually, because we'll check this out in a little bit, I want to see what the comic book head looks like, if it'll work on this body. So we'll take that off and have it off to the side. Up next, bringing in the rest of the characters from this wave, we got Adam Warlock. Looks good. Unfortunately, this is the only Gamora I have, so this has to stand in. I don't know why they didn't give us a new Gamora with this Guardians wave. realistically, I think if I would have had it my way, I would have done the individual Groot as the Build-A-Figure, Cosmo, and I think I would have done Cosmo maybe in the wave just as his own figure, or done him in a 2-pack. Maybe Cosmo and Kraglin are in a 2-pack, and then you put Gamora in the actual wave, and then have Groot be the Build-A-Figure is what I probably would have done, realistically. And we still don't have the High Evolutionary either, so maybe High Evolutionary and Rocket in a 2-pack or something, and then Aisha in the wave or something. I don't know. Something to add some more characters to the shelf. We don't have Aisha, we don't have High Evolutionary. I don't have a newer, better Gamora personally. So yeah, I really could use that. But yeah, here we go. Here's everybody that's in this wave. I'm going to take Gamora out now because this one's kind of a bad figure. And we'll get Cosmo out here. And lastly, we'll get Rocket. So there is a look at the entirety of this wave. And I think, honestly, they all look pretty dang great together. As a whole unit, as a group, all look awesome. I'll eventually get Groot at some point. I'm a little disappointed with that Groot because I feel like his coloring is off, but as a stand-in for now, just because I don't have the new Groot, doesn't mean we can't put in the old Build-A-Figure Groot, or even the Thor Love and Thunder wave Teenage Groot. So yeah, there you go. Depending on what Guardians, what MCU mashup you want to do, you have options now with the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 wave. I think Star-Lord's great. I think Drax is great. Personally, I think they both could have benefited from butterflies. Extra accessory-wise, I think Drax should have had a screaming head, should have had a set of fists. Star-Lord, maybe a set of fists instead of just having the blaster hands. Also, Star-Lord could have greatly benefited from having somewhere to store the actual blasters on him. So yeah, it's kind of a bummer that he has nowhere to store the blasters on his sides like previous Star-Lords did. Yeah, I think that could have really... And then Star-Lord maybe an alternate head as well to give him some sort of extra look. I mean, he didn't really wear it in the movie, but maybe give us the mask, since they didn't give us the masked head or whatever, anything like that, which is kind of a bummer. So really quick, we're going to do some quick head swaps with Star-Lord to see what this body looks like with some other heads really fast. So if this one will work, here is the older Volume 1 black visor. The head is kind of small on this one, honestly, and I don't really like this one that much, but it does work on there if you are curious. Here's an older version of the Chris Pratt head. I don't know which one this is exactly, but it doesn't look horrible on the body. The likeness isn't 100% there compared to this newer one. This newer one does a lot better job of hitting Chris Pratt. Here is the... if it will fit. I don't think it's gonna fit. Nope, it does, but barely. Here's the comic book Star-Lord head on the body. Doesn't look bad. The blues don't specifically match, but you could probably pass it if you really wanted to. And then lastly, we will do the other Star-Lord mask head here. So if you are curious, here is that head on this body, and I think that looks phenomenal. That honestly might be how I display him on the shelf, just because I've always liked the Star-Lord mask. I think it looks so cool. So having him in his like actual Guardians uniform with that mask on will look pretty nice. And then let's see really quick, what the head of the previous Star-Lord looks like on this body. And that looks really good too. So if you did want to, you could always put the old Star-Lord head on older bodies to make the better Chris Pratt likeness. One other thing here, so this is a little bit of a spoiler. If you haven't seen the Guardians movie already and you are just looking for my thoughts and opinions on these characters, for $24.99 a piece, I did buy these at GameStop doing their buy 3 get 1 free deal. So I ended up getting them cheaper and stuff like that. I got one character free and got another character marked down with prices. So yeah, for $24.99, these characters are awesome. They're great. I'm happy to have them in the collection, and they will be replacing all the old versions of the Guardians on my shelf. Unfortunately, I do really like this version of StarLord, so I don't know where. I do want to keep this one out because I like this figure a lot. But yeah, that's going to do it for this. If you are curious and, you know, have seen the movie already and don't want to be spoiled, I really like these figures. I'm happy to have them, and thanks for watching if you have, you know, and everything like that. And if you haven't done so already, would always appreciate like and subscribe on the channel. It does help out a lot. I do greatly appreciate it. And really quick, like I said, spoiler warning, this is your last opportunity to leave if you haven't done so already. All right. End of the movie for Guardians. We have one of the post-credit scenes. We do see Kraglin and Adam Warlock in the uniform here. So I was curious, what does it look like with the Sean Gunn head on this body? Looks okay. There is no neck. The head sits a little low. So if you do put the body ever so, or the head ever so slightly on the ball, just a bit, that looks pretty good. So I think what I want to do is maybe get another Star-Lord at some point, maybe another Kraglin if I don't really care about this body, but put a Kraglin head on this body, maybe take this belt or this like shoulder piece and like put it on this body to give him like the bandolier and everything for the arrow, and maybe do a mashup between the two, just because this Kraglin body is kind of meh. Not really a fan of it, but yeah, that kind of works. Obviously, as you could see here, the neck and the height between Kraglin and Star-Lord is so drastically different. But if you don't have Star-Lord kind of in the mix and you just want Kraglin with that end of the like movie Guardians team lineup, then yeah, then there you go. And then you have Adam Warlock, who as well is in one of these Guardians lineups at the end. I won't tell you the whole lineup. I just want to say with these two, obviously I don't want to spoil everything, but yeah, Adam Warlock as well. If you do want him in the uniform, you can put the hands on here. I have switched the hands. They are a little small, so the head looks a little tiny on this body. It looks kind of a little wonky, but if you did want to put Adam into this uniform, you could. You will have to get a set of paint and paint the neck a little bit though, so you have to try and find a matching paint. And if you did want to, you could always paint the fingers if you didn't want the Adam Warlock fists on there, since they are a little bit smaller. But yeah, that's it. That is all. That is the end for me. So hopefully you guys did enjoy. I will be doing the same comparison in the Kraglin and Adam Warlock video, but I just wanted to throw it in here as well, since this is the body you'd be using. So some people out there might be buying 3 Star-Lords now and maybe doing a little bit of customizing to get them exactly to your liking. But honestly, buying 3 Star-Lords isn't that bad, because then you get all 3 of the extra unmasked heads, and you could put those extra Chris Pratt heads on previously older Star-Lord bodies. Even though the likeness isn't exactly what he looked like in that movie, you at least have a better Chris Pratt likeness head on the body. So yeah, that's going to do it for me today. Hopefully you did enjoy. This is fully the end. So if you've stuck through everything and you've seen the movie already, thank you so much for, you know, sticking with me. If you did see the movie, let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. I honestly really liked it. I think Guardians is probably one of the strongest trilogies in the entire MCU. I thought Guardians 3 was awesome. So yeah, that's going to do it today. Hopefully you enjoyed. Let me know also, did you pick up any of these characters? Are you passing on the wave? I know personally I'm not the biggest fan that Cosmo is the Build-A-Figure. And like I said, I would have done things differently if I designed this wave myself. But yeah, I mean, is what it is. $24.99 a piece. You know, take it or leave it. You probably could wait till sales. I wanted to wait till sales, but I just kind of also wanted these now because I just saw the movie recently and I really liked it. So yeah, that's going to do it. Hopefully you enjoyed. Leave a like if you haven't done so already. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you in the next one.